let me talk very important point. Okay, whenever we are talking about instance method, compulsory we have to talk about one important point. What is that? Very important point is, yes, take a bit very special care about this point, sir. Do you know setters and getter methods? Very important. Whenever we are talking about instance methods, then obviously compulsory you have to talk about these methods, right? Setter method and getter method, setter method and getter method, right? So for which purpose you can use setter and getter methods? For which purpose we can use setters and getter methods, right? So very simple. Yeah, Sushil, at last we will discuss. Just listen. Sir, here, for which purpose we can use setters and getters? The name itself indicates. Do you know? Anyone, can you please tell? The people who know already object-oriented programming, then everyone can aware about these words, because these words are most commonly used. Most commonly used words, setter and getter methods. Anyone, can you please tell what the setter method, getter method? Okay, the name itself indicates. Okay, setter methods can be used to set a value to the instance variables, instance variables, right? Next, getter methods can be used to get values of instance variables, instance variables. So setter methods can be used to set values to the instance variable. Getter methods can be used to get the values of instance variables, right? For that purpose we can use setter method, getter methods, right? So what is the syntax for the getter method, for the setter method? Sir, it is always fixed syntax. If you are working on IDEs, do you know? So IDE itself is the responsible to generate getter and setter methods, right? Because the syntax is always fixed, always fixed, sir. Suppose assume that I want to set the value. I want to get the value. Get the value, sir. The get the salary. Assume that, sir. Get the salary. I want to get the salary. Do you know, just simple return self for dot salary. Whatever the value of, so salary, can you please return? Getter method can be used to get value of instance variable. Here salary itself is the instance variable, right? Okay. Similarly, what is the setter method syntax? Setter method syntax is always fixed, sir. So you require to set the value. That's why def set the salary. Def set the salary. Now self comma name, sir. Set salary self comma name, like this I'm taking, sir. Sir, now salary. Sorry, salary. I have to set, sir. Now whatever value you are passing, it will become argument, sir. Whatever value you are passing, it will become argument. Self for dot salary is equal to salary, right? So getter method can be used to get value of instance variable. Setter method can be used to set the values of instance variables, right? Okay, so it's always associated with a particular instance variable. That's why compulsory setter and getter methods are instance methods. Remember that setter and getter methods are instance methods, right? So when we can use setter method, when we can use getter method, these are normal methods only, no specialty, but based on functionality, which can be used to set value, which can be used to get value. That's why getter and setter very commonly used terminology, right? Remember that. Regarding these are instance methods only, Swaroop. These are not any what we call, these are not static or these are not class. These are instance methods only. Instance. But this instance method not to doing any business activity, just to set the value, to get the value. That's why these methods are special. Regarding what these functionality of these methods, can you please observe? Can you please observe what is the functionality of these methods? Yes. What is the functionality which can be used to get the value of a variable. This method is not doing any business activity, which can be used to set the value to the variable. That's why it is the setter method. Again, one is the getter method, the second one is setter method, which can be used to set the value. That's why the word these methods are setter and getter methods. In any programming language, in Java, sir, in .NET, everywhere this type of terminology is the very common terminology. Please make sure you should aware. Okay. Can I go for a small chota example? Yes. When we require to use setter method, when we require to use getter method, right? Sir, very simple, very simple. In object-oriented programming, our data should not go out directly. We have to access through getter methods. Remember that we require to access the data of an object by using getter method. So if you want to set the value, setter method must be required. Sometimes what will happen, sir, here assume that S is equal to student. Student R, name is Durga, roll number 101. Like this I'm taking, sir. Do you know the data you know at the beginning? At the beginning, you know what the name of the student, what the roll number, suppose. But sometimes what will happen? I don't know data at the beginning. I will create an empty object. I will create an empty object. And later I will call yes sir dot set a name of sir like this. Regarding yes dot set name of Durga. Can you please set the name as Durga? Durga like this, right? Similarly, set a roll number. Set a roll number as. Set a roll number as someone not one something. I hope you people can able to understand. So as alternative to constructor, we require to use setter method. As alternative to constructor, we require to use a setter methods, right? Okay, set a name and a set a roll number. You people should be aware clearly, right? Any doubt? Okay, if I will go for a small chota example, then you can get much clarity about this one. Nothing will be there, sir. Have a look once. Have a look once about this carefully. Here I'm taking a class student. Assume that a class student I'm taking, sir. Now def set a name, set a name, self comma name, sir. Set a name, self comma name. Okay, self dot name is equal to name. Okay, this is the setter method. This is the setter method for the name. Similarly, def get a name. Okay, if you want to get a name, sir, return self dot name. Regarding self dot name. Def get marks. Def get marks like this, right? Def get marks. Return self dot marks. Regarding return self dot marks like this, right? Get marks. Similarly, sir, def set marks. Regarding get marks, set marks, like you can set marks. Order is not important, right? Okay. So self comma marks. Okay. So self dot marks is equal to marks like this, right? That's all. So now, can you please observe that it is the class student. This is the setter method for the name and the getter method for the name. Setter method for the marks and getter method for the marks. Like this, we have sir, four methods are there. Two getter methods and two setter methods are there, sir. Now I'm asking n is equal to int of input of enter number of students. Enter number of students. Like this, I'm asking. Enter number of students, right? So for I in range of n. For I in range of n. For I in range of n, what I'm trying to take is, sir, just let me create one empty student object, one student object I'm asking. Now here just observe that name is equal to input name is equal to input enter name. Okay, name is equal to input of enter name. So yes sir dot set the name of name I'm taking, sir. Yes not set name of name. Next marks I want to take. Marks is equal to int of input enter marks. Enter marks like this I'm taking, sir. Enter marks S dot set marks. S dot set marks are marks. So S dot set marks are marks. Like this I'm taking, sir. Okay, that's all. Sir, I have observed just I created a student object. A student object. Now I'm trying to set the name. Now I'm trying to set the marks by reading from the keyboard. Okay, like that. Now, sir, I want to access this data. I require to access this data. What I will take here, print hi. I want to get yes dot get the name. Yes dot get name. Sir, your marks are print are your marks are okay. Just yes dot get marks. Yes dot get marks like this, right? Okay. Now print like I'm taking. Okay, so that's all. This is about a small chota example. What you people should aware clearly, right? Okay, that's all. So just have a look once. I'm creating student object. Now I'm trying to set the name. I'm trying to set the marks. Now just I want to access the data. So we are not accessing data directly. We are always asking through methods. We are not setting the data directly. We are always setting the data through methods. This is good object-oriented programming. Somewhere you may heard about data hiding. Somewhere you may heard about data hiding, encapsulation. So data hiding and encapsulation, these kind of things we can implement in object-oriented programming by using setter and getter methods, man. Everyone in the position to understand? Yes, friends. Can I run this code? Can I run this code? Here, have a look once. Now py tester.py. So enter number of students. Assume that 3 students. Enter name. Enter name. Okay. Sir, here just I'm taking Sunny. Enter marks 100 like this, right? Hi Sunny, your marks are 100. Hi Sunny, your marks are 100. Enter name. So Bunny, I'm taking. Enter marks 90. Sir, hi Bunny, your marks are 90. Something like. Sir, Chinny. Okay. Chinny. Enter name Chinny. Enter marks 80. Sir, hi Chinny, your marks are 80. Perfectly it's going to work, sir. So in object oriented programming, if you are seeing anywhere this type of lines, don't worry, perfectly it is acceptable. Getting right? So here, what is the role of constructor? Here, what is the role of constructor? Nothing, because at the beginning only you should aware the data. Sometimes may be possible, sometimes may not be possible, man. So that's why here the constructor role is nothing. There is no use. Here everything what constructor is doing, my setter methods are doing that activity. Next, if you want to access the data, compulsory through methods we have to access. So hiding the data behind the methods, what we are doing. You can't ask what is the yes dot name. You can I mean you are not accessing the data directly. Okay. All the people are in a position to understand, right? Somewhere in our third module is there, encapsulation. There I will discuss much. Just even getter and the setter methods, how to define. What is the purpose of getter method? What is the purpose of setter method? Getter method can be used to get the values. Getter method can be used to get the values of instance variable. Setter method can be used to set values to the instance variables, right? Clear? Can I go to the next level? Without setting the values, without calling setter methods, you can't use getter methods. Immediately you will get error. Compulsory setter methods first and then getter methods we have to use. First setter methods and then getter methods we require to use. Is it possible to get values without setter method? No way. Next, s is equal to student. This is create an object reference to the student class or create constructor. Sir, s is equal to student. It created an object. Okay, for the student class. It created an object and s is the reference variable. But how many instance variables are there because of this object creation? Nothing. Whenever you are calling set name, then only name variable will come. Whenever we are calling set marks, then only marks is going to come. So something like an empty student object got created, like you can tell. Clear, right? Yes, Swarup, correct. Up to this is the clear. That's all. This is about instance methods. I mean getter methods and setter methods. One special type of instance methods you should evade, sir. Okay. Now the next cinema, what I'm trying to take, is very important terminology, sir. Sir, please make sure you should evade clearly. What the next thing is? Yeah. What the next one is? Class methods. Class methods, right? So take a bit very special care. For the get method, compulsory you should return. If you are not going to return anything, where is the question of okay getter? Getter method means return type is the mandatory, return value is the mandatory social. Yes, you can access a static variables either by object reference or by class name, but recommended to use class name. Can I go for next method? Yeah, correct. Constructor job is to perform initialization of an object, but in this case there is no role of constructor. That's why I'm not taking. An empty dummy default constructor will be executed. So in this case, what the role of constructor? Nothing. There is no nothing. There is no role. It is an empty dummy constructor got executed, which is of no use because I'm setting the data by using. So when we should go for constructor, if you know the data values at the beginning only, then we should go for. Sometimes do you know we may not having the data at runtime. From the keyboard I have to read the data. Yeah, now correct. But how to get the data? Constructor, when we should go for constructor? Of course, constructor and the setter method, both the things are doing the same. Constructor and the setter methods, both are doing the same. But when we should go for constructor is if we know data at the beginning. If we know data at the beginning only, no problem, beginning only, then create an object directly by using constructor. Okay, I know data at the beginning only, create an object directly like that. Okay, so if we don't have the data, if we don't know data, create an empty object. Next, whenever data is available, just call set a name or set marks like this, right? Now come. Correct? Now come. Are you getting? Yeah. So now, instead of return statement, can we use the break? No. Next. If we are not taking constructor, then it will run, because if we are not writing any constructor, Python is going to provide default constructor. Already I told, right? Kushbu. Default constructor is there, empty constructor is there, dummy constructor is there. Swarup, sometimes what will happen is you are not allowed to create an object. I will provide object. If you want, you can change the values by using corresponding setter methods. You are not allowed to create an object by calling constructor directly. Then how you can set the data? In the object-oriented programming, sometimes maybe such type of options also there. So to set values dynamically for our object, Better to go for setter methods. Getting? Okay. So now, what is the next cinema we have to discuss for you people? Up to this we covered instance methods. Instance methods we covered. In the method implementation, in the method implementation, if we are using at least one method implementation, if we are using at least one instance variable, if we are using at least one instance variable, then we should go for instance method. Remember that. So when we should go for class method, when we should go for class methods, right? Very simple. Inside method implementation, sir, observe very carefully, sir. Inside method implementation, if we are using only, if we are using only class variables, sir. If we are using only class variables, sir. Regarding inside method implementation, if we are using only class variables, sir. Only class variables, sir. Of course, static variables, sir. Class variables, of course, static variables, right? So then such type of methods we have to declare as class method. Remember this one, sir. So I'm using only static variables, man. I'm not using single instance variable also. Then happily we should declare yes, that method as a class method because it is nowhere related to a particular object. Remember this one, sir. It is nowhere related to a particular object. Okay, like that. So now my target is, sir, take very special care. When, sir, here how to declare explicitly it is the class method. Explicitly it is the class method. How you can declare explicitly, sir? Very simple. At the rate class method decorator. Are you getting right? At the rate class method decorator, we can declare explicitly. Okay, it is a class method like that, right? Okay. Next, so for this class method, CLS variable will be there. By using the CLS variable is always pointing to current class object. By using the CLS variable, all static members present in the happily we are allowed to access. Regarding CLS variables are there. Okay. Next, how to call class methods. How you can call class method? Sir, very simple. Either by using class name or by using object reference, but recommended to use class name. Remember that we can call static method either by using object reference, or by using class name, but recommended to use class name. Remember that. Okay. Sir, let me go for a small example. Listen a bit carefully, sir. Observe carefully. Very important point. Suppose assume that just get the basic idea first, syntax related, right? Sir, class animal is there. Animal is there. Sir, for every animal, sir, there are 4 legs are there. Assume that animal to animal, this data is not going to be changed for every animal. Okay, just 4 legs are there, sir. Now I'm taking at the rate class method, def walk, I'm taking, sir. So CLS comma name like this, right? So just I'm trying to take, sir, it is print off. Okay, so walks with how many legs? 4 legs, like I'm taking, sir. Dot format off. Are you getting dot format off? Okay, very simple. Name. First argument is the name. Second argument is CLS dot legs. Dot format of CLS dot legs. Okay, that's all. Sir, here I have observed we are using only static variable. I'm not using any instance variable. Then happily we can go for class method like this, right? Now I want to call this method. Object is required to create or not required to create? Can you please tell? Is it required to create object? If you want to call walk method, no, not required. Just animal dot walk I'm taking. Animal dot walk I'm taking dog. Regarding animal dot walk of dog. Now observe dog walks with the 4 legs. Regarding dog walks with the 4 legs. Next, sir, dog, animal, cat I am taking, sir. Same terminology. We are going to take cat walks with the 4 legs, something like. So if you here just observe, I don't want to use any instance variable just in my method implementation. I want to use only static variables. Happily we can declare. We can declare that method as a class method. Any doubt? Yes, Sushil. Need not be cls.lex, even animal.lex also you can call. No problem, because static variable you can access by using class name. Perfectly, it's going to work. Already CLS variable is there. Why? Okay, we require to use class name. Okay, just simple CLS. So just my intention is how to declare class method, syntax familiarity. Beyond that, nothing, sir. That's why I am taking this example. Just you have to be aware how to declare class method, when we should go for class method, like. So in this I'm using, of course, if the name is the local variable. Whether we are using local variables or not, no problem. I'm not using sir any instance variable. I'm using only static variable. That's why we have to use this one. Yes, instance. I mean, it is the class method. Yes, by using class method, you can update the value of static variable. Okay, can I go for next one? Please. Can I go for next example? Okay, next example is the more meaningful example. Please observe a bit very carefully, sir. Next example is the more meaningful example, sir. I have one test class is available. Listen carefully. I have one test class is available, sir. I want to track how many objects are created for the test class. Regarding, so first object, second object, third object, fourth object, like. So how many objects are created for the test class? I want to track. I will maintain one count variable. Assume that I will maintain one count variable. Whenever you are creating an object, automatically, can you please increment count value? Regarding, can you please increment count value? Whenever you are creating an object, whenever we are creating an object, can you please increment count value? Whenever you are creating an object, can you please increment count value? Okay, whenever we are creating an object, increment count value, then automatically total how many values, what is the final value of count? 4. That's why 4 objects are created, right? That's how. Now I have one small doubt, sir. This count variable is the common for all objects or not? Am I required to maintain separate copy for every object, or is it common for all objects? Is it common for all objects or not? Yes, because only one count variable, sir, we have to maintain. Regarding, if for every object, if you are going to maintain separate count variable, every time here this count 0 will become 1, here this count 0 will become 1, here this count 0 will become 1. What is the use? Because I want a global count, total how many objects are created itself is like this. Friends, everyone in the position to understand? Sir, now can you please tell what is this variable, sir? This count variable, is it instance variable or static variable? This count, is it instance variable or static variable? Which you think I have to take? Instance variable or static variable? Static variable, right? Okay, well, now observe this. Observe a bit carefully. Now count is equal to 0. Whenever you are creating an object, automatically constructor will be executed. Whenever we are creating an object, constructor will be executed. Whenever constructor got executed, for every time constructor executed, can you please increment count value? Can you please increment count value? Like tester dot count is equal to, sir, tester dot count plus 1. Tester dot count is equal to tester dot count plus 1. So every time, whenever you are creating an object, T1 is equal to tester, sir. I created an object. Whenever you are creating an object, automatically constructor will execute. That constructor will increment this count value. Regarding the constructor will increment count value, right? Okay, if you want to perform modification for the static variable, compulsory we require to use class name. Compulsory we require to use class name of CLS variable. Here only class name, because CLS is not available for the constructor. Okay, now, sir, after executing this one, can you please tell what is the value of count? Please tell, after executing this T1 is equal to tester, what is the value of count? 1. Well, 1. Now, here after executing T2, after executing this T3, can you please tell what is the value of this variable? What is the value of count? Please tell 3. Now, my requirement is I want to know the count value. DEF get the count. DEF get count, sir. Now I want to print, sir, my requirement is, can you please print the count value? This is about my requirement. Just I'm taking the code, pseudo code, don't worry. Sir, I want to print count value. Now my question is, can you please tell, is it required to make this one as instance method, or is it required to make this one as class method or static method? Please confirm. Am I required to use class method or instance method or static method? Highly recommended. Good programming practice. Make this one as class method. Because the reason, class method. Because the reason is, it is going to access only count. Because count is the static variable. If count is the static variable, without having object also, happily you can call this method. Okay? That's why what we have to take is, it should be static method. It should be static method. CLS dot count. CLS dot count. Next, CLS dot count. Next, here I have to take at the rate class method. So just my requirement is, whenever I'm accessing count value, now I have to provide count variable. Whenever I want to access count value, then I have to provide count variable, right? Now the point here is, count is a static variable. So inside this method implementation, we are accessing only static variable. We are not accessing at least one instance variable. That's fine. We have to declare. That's fine. We have to declare this method as, we require to declare this method as instance method. This method as class method. Okay, now print of the number of occurrences, the number of objects created, okay. What I have to take, sir, do you know, just I want to call this get count method, test dot get the count. Can you please tell, are you feeling comfortable with this example? Please. Why I am taking class method? Why I am taking a variable as a static? Internal requirements. Okay, like now have a look. Let me execute this code. Can you please observe? 3. The number of objects created, none. 1 minute. I am doing somewhere the mistake. Here print of CLS dot count. No. Return CLS dot count. Okay, return CLS dot count. Count value. Can you please return like now? Have a look once. The number of objects created is the 3 like this, right? Now, sir, just let me create one more object. Let me create one more object. If I'm creating one more object, observe that number of objects created is 4. If I'm creating one more object, then the number of objects created is a 4 we have. Any doubt? Best example to understand what is the static, what is the class level method, what is the need of static variable requirement. Any doubt? Yeah. Clear, right? Okay, even inside get count method, you can use print statement, no problem at all. This is a print statement you can keep inside get count method, then you can call directly yes a tester dot get count. It is also acceptable. It should be acceptable. Don't worry. What is the get count? Here cls dot tester dot count. Fine man. Tester dot get count. Perfect. The number of objects created. Tester dot count variable. Here count variable gone. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now maybe. The number of objects created is 4. No doubt, because static variables we can access by using class name or by using CLS, no problem, right? Any doubt? Okay. Now the next cinema we have to talk very important, sir. 1 minute. Sushil, yeah. So, sir, inside constructor, instance variable can be declared with a self. And static variables can be declared with a self. Static variables cannot be declared inside constructor by using self. Compulsory, we should use class name. If we are declaring any variable by using self inside constructor or inside a method, compulsory that variable is always instance variable. Don't get confused. Swarup. But we can accessing is the different, declaring is the different, modifying is the different, deleting is the different. Yeah. Now just one small clarity purpose I'm asking whether you know. I have one method is there, sir. I have one method is there. I'm using instance variables. What is this method? Can you please tell? I'm using instance variables inside this method. Compulsory this method should be compulsory this method should be instance method. Array, I have one method is there. In that I'm using instance variable. Compulsory that method should be instance method. Compulsory that method should be instance method. Okay, make sure it should be instance method. I have one method is there, sir. I have one method is there. Inside that I'm using instance variables under static variables. Under static variables. What is this method, sir? What is this method? I'm using instance variables under static variables both. What is this one? So don't get confused. Now also it should be instance method. Now also it should be instance method. Instance method. Inside method implementation, if we are using at least one instance variable, compulsory that method should be instance method. Whether we are using static variables or not, whether we are using local variables or not, I never going to worry. Sir, are you using at least one instance variable? Yes, it always talks about a particular object. Okay, clear, right? Next, I have one method is there, sir. I'm using static variables. Static variables like. Can you please tell what is this method? Compulsory this method should be. Right? Compulsory this method should be class method. Compulsory this method should be class method. Okay. So CLS, and we have to declare as class method like this. Okay. Now I have one more, sir. At the rate. Now I have one more. Here just I have one method is there, sir. In case we are not using any instance variables and the static variables. We are not using any instance variable and any static variable. Whether we are using local variables or not, it should be static method. It should be static method. Regarding right, if we are not using any instance variable and static variable, whether we are using local variables or not, it should be static method. How to declare static methods are by using at the rate static method. At the rate static method, static method like that. So now here, do you know self? Here we won't use self. We are not required to use CLS. If any local variables are there, then you can just pass that x comma y, something like whatever the variables you can pass, it is. So it is not considered the CLS, it is not considered the self, it is the normal local variable only if it is the static method. So if we are not using decorator, what will happen? That story we are going to discuss. Don't worry much first. So first try to understand, right? Sir, where we have the requirement? Can you please give an example? Can you please give an example like you may ask about this one, sir. Sir, here just observe carefully. Here I'm taking class Durga math. Assume that I have Durga math class is there. Def add method is there. X comma y. Def add method is there. X comma y. Now do you know print of the sum. The print of the sum is x plus y. Print of the sum is x plus y. Like this I'm taking, sir. X plus y. Now def. Okay. Now I have one small doubt. Do you know, am I using any class level data? Am I using any class level data? I mean static variables or instance variables? No. Just you are passing some two local variables, man. Just I'm trying to print it. That's why it should be static method. Observe that. Similarly, I'm taking. Okay, get the rate static method. Static method I'm taking. So now def product, sir. Def product of x comma y. So print of the product is x into y. Print of the product is x into y. Static method is also static method. So now static method def. Okay, average of x comma y. Average of x comma y. So print of the average is, do you know, x plus y by 2, like this I'm taking, sir. X plus y by 2 average x plus y by 2, like this I'm taking. Do you know here just a normal utility method, sir. Okay, it never talks about any class level data. It never talks about any instance data. Remember this one, sir. It never talks about class level data. It never talks about any object instance data. That's why these are utility methods. These methods are by default considered as static methods. Getting when we should go for instance method, when we should go for class method, when we should go for static methods, right? Now how to call this one? So to call these methods, object is required to create or not? To call these methods, if the object is required to create, no, without having object also happily you can call, because these people never talks about any particular instance variable. Now sir, here what I'm trying to take, class name Durga math dot add of 10 comma 20. Okay, next product of 10 comma 20. Next average of 10 comma 20. Okay, like observe what is the output we are going to get, the sum 30, the product 200, the average 15.0, like this. To handle this type of requirements, we can go for static methods, right? Any doubt? So how many types of methods are allowed inside Python class? Three types of methods are allowed. One is instance method, second one is the instance method, second one is class method, and the third one is static method. Inside method implementation, if we are using at least one, okay, instance variable, compulsory that method should be instance method. If we are not using any instance variable, but we are using class level static variable, then compulsory we should declare that method yes, okay, class method. If we are not using any instance variable, if we are not using any static variable, okay, then obviously general utility method, we have to declare that method yes, static method. Clear? That assumption is wrong, Sushil. Sushil is asking some doubt. Can you please clarify whether it is a valid or not? He is having some doubt, sir. What his doubt is, sir, one method contain only instance variable, define self, and one method contain only static variable, define class method, and one method contain local variable, so define static method. It's a mandatory. Yeah. So just but here better to remember not like this. It's not correct approach. Inside method implementation, are you using any instance variable? First check you have to take. If you are using any instance variable, at least one instance variable, okay, one instance variable is required to use. So how you can access instance variable? Compulsory by self. Then obviously we should go for instance method. Okay, if you are using at least one instance variable, then we should go for instance method. Remember that. So if we are not using any instance variable, okay, if we are not using any instance variable, any instance variable, if we are not using any instance variable, but we are using class level variable. Class level variable means a static variable. Okay, then compulsory we should go for class method. Sir, if we are not using any instance variable, if we are not using static variable, so no, just we are using normal local, I will pass some value. Can you please process? I'm passing some values. Just read this, perform some operation only on my provided data. I never go to ask about object. I never go to ask about the class related data, object related data. Then we should go for class method. Getting? Then we should go for static method. General utility methods are static methods, right? Sushil, are you getting? This way better to remember. The remaining people also observe that. Next, Swaroop is asking one more doubt. Sir, in constructor, is it recommended to use class name for accessing static variable? Sir, anywhere static variables, if you want to access, recommended to use class name so that everyone can aware it is the static variable. Okay. Any doubt? So everywhere, if you want to access static variable, class name is highly recommended. Anywhere, sir. Anywhere, if you want to access static variable, class name is highly recommended. That's what you should be aware. Can I go for next level? Okay. Next, take a bit very special care, sir. That's all. This is about instance method, class method, instance method, class method, like this type of things, right? You should be aware. So Sushil is asking another doubt. Can you please confirm what about remaining people? Is there any chance of local variable and static variable? Yes, maybe a chance. If I'm using local and static variable both, then compulsory I have to declare that method as please tell compulsory we require to declare that method as static method because we are using at least one static variable. Class method, Ali, don't get confused. You are using static variable. We are using static variable. Compulsory that method should be class method. Only local variables. Okay, getter and setter method syntaxes are always fixed. Getter method starts with get, setter method starts with the set. That is the convention representations. Now I have one doubt. Don't get confused because my intention is if you wear all the things, then your life will become very easy. That's why I'm telling very crucial points also. I mean, internal things also. Suppose assume that I have for the instance methods, decorator is not mandatory. Remember that instance method decorator is not there. But for static method, decorator is there. For the static method, decorator is optional. Remember this one. For the static methods, a decorator is optional. Okay, like now perfectly it's working. Even decorators are not there. So for static method, decorator is optional. What about class method? What about class method? Okay, very simple. So for class methods, decorator is mandatory. Okay, remember that. So for class methods, a decorator is mandatory man. So at the rate class method, compulsory you should use man. Compulsory you should use this one. At the rate class method, you should use if it is the class method. Suppose if I'm not writing anything, now what about this method? Very simple. This method can be, if you are not using this decorator, any decorator, then this method should be either instance method or static method. Assume this one, either instance method or static method. Observe that. Sir, I'm not using, sir, I have one method is there. 1 minute. I have one method is there, sir. Just have a look once. I have one method is there, def m1, some x is there, sir. I'm not using any decorator. Can you please confirm? Is it static method or not? Sorry, is it class method or not? Please confirm. Please think of it very carefully. Is it a class method or not? Yes or no? Is it a class method or not? Yes or no? Arey, what about remaining man? Why you are silent? Is it class method or not? It is not the class method, because if you want to consider this one as a class method, compulsory decorator must be required. Because here CLS, that is need not be mandatory now. You can use X, Y, Z also, no problem. CLS and self, any name, any variable you can use. Now the point is, why it is not the class method? Because you didn't use class method decorator. Because for class methods, okay, for class method, class method decorator is mandatory. Observe very carefully. For class methods, class method class method decorator is mandatory. Is mandatory. That class method decorator is mandatory. Okay. Now, if we are not using class method decorator, then it can be either instance method, or static method. It can be either instance method or static method. Remember this one. If we call by using class name, then it acts as a static method. If we call by using object reference, then it acts as instance method. This is a small observation you people should even sir. Observe again. Clearly, I'm typing the things. For class methods, class method decorator is mandatory. If we are not using class method decorator, then it can be either instance method or static method. If we call by using class name, then it acts as a static method. If we call by using object reference, then it acts as instance method. Sir, what it means? Where is the proof? Very simple, sir. Very simple. I didn't use any decorator. Any decorator. Now, just I'm calling test.yaml. Can you please tell, is it instance method or static method? Please confirm, is it instance method or class method? Observe, forget about it. At last, is it going to work or not? Forget about it. Is it instance method or static method? It is the static method because it is the static method because you are calling by using class name. It is the static. If it is the static method, then what about this argument? It is not self. It is not CLS. It is the normal argument. Compulsory you should pass. You are not passing this one. You are not passing this. What will happen? M1 missing one required positional argument X. Clear indication it is not treated as self, it is not treated as a CLS. Whenever you are passing 10 perfectly, it's going to work. Getting right? So we are calling by using class name. That's why it simply acts as class static method, right? Suppose assume that sir, now T is equal to tester. T.m1. Can you please tell, is it instance method or static method? Now observe, is it instance method or static method? Perfectly, this one is instance method because you are calling by using object reference. Very simple, sir. If you are not using any decorator, only two options, sir. It can be either instance method or it can be static method. So if you are calling by using class name, it will become static. If you are calling by using object reference, it will become instance. Now it is the instance method. If it is the instance method, first argument is always a self. Of course, whatever variable name you are passing, it is treated as a self. You are not required to pass any value. Perfectly, it is going to work. If you want, you can say that. So, is the decorator either mandatory or not? Now it's a very clear. Decorator is not mandatory. If you are not using any decorator, it will be either static method or instance method. If you are calling by using class name, it will become static method. If you are calling by using object reference, it will become instance method. Clear? Any doubt? Yo, confusion? Friends, are you feeling any confusion about this? All the things are very, very important terminology. Yes. Okay. Now, more concentration must be required. So, if it is the instance method, x is the self. If it is the static method, x is a local variable. So, if it is instance method, x means a self. If it is the static method, x means a local variable. Shilpa Reddy, yesterday we shared that through Drive. You also give the ID, right? Mail ID, right? Can you please check your mail? We shared almost 4 or 5 mail IDs. Okay, Swarup, what's your doubt? If we use a static variable, sir, can you please observe that? This is the Swarup doubt. If we use a static variable, static variable, but don't use a decorator, what will happen? What will happen? Sir, very simple, very simple. If we use static variable, but how you can use static variable? Swarup, how you can use static variable? By using class name. By using class name. If you are not using decorator, then how you are calling? Based on that, you have to decide whether it is instance method or static method. So if you are not using any decorator, then based on calling only, you have to decide whether it is an instance method or static method. Getting right? If you call by using object reference, it will become instance method. If you call by using class name, it will become static method. But even inside instance method and static method, we can access static variables by using class name, no problem. But whenever you are using static variables, highly recommended to use class name. Swarup, if your method not prefixed with get, then still it acts as a get, but it's not convention. Getter method should always starts with a get. Setter method is always starts with a setter. It is the convention of getter and setter methods in any programming language. If you are not taking starts with get, starts with a setter, that may be your own methods, not conventional methods. Okay? Any doubt? That's all. These are the things what you people should aware. Very, very dangerous points. More concentration must be required from your side. Okay, not that much easy cinema. Social, what it means, man? Sir, at the rate class method, the name class name, can I replace only? I'm using at the rate class is what it means. I didn't get you. Can you please retype again, Sushil? Yes, Akash, compulsory. It should be. Happily, we can build softwares. So you can't change the name of the decorator. Compulsory, it should be class method. You should not change as the class at the rate class. No, you should not. Your own decorators you can't take. It is predefined decorators. Predefined decorators. Yeah. Sushil, gaming applications, web applications, okay, any drivers, like almost all the things we can able to build by using Python. Akash. Okay. Well, that's all. Just to go through this Greek and Latin. So in the next session, I will start about inner classes. Okay. Now just observe a small doubt from Sushil. Please tell what the answer we are going to get now. For I in range, is there any code is there? 1 minute, 1 minute. Can you please confirm? Can you please guide? What is the output we are going to get, sir? For I in range, n message is equal to like. What the next? Is there any printing is there? Do you want to print anything? You want to print anything? Sushil? Yes, you require to print n message. Correct, right? And a message you require to print. Okay, very simple. Sir, hello. Next and after that n message is empty. For I in range 0 to length of start message 0 to 1 2 3 4 5 0 to 5 means 0 to 4. So n message is equal to start message of I plus n message. Start message of I means h. So first time h sir. First time h followed by empty. Next what will happen is e followed by n message. Next l followed by n message. Next l followed by n message. Next o followed by n message. That's all. Simple is going to print o l l e h. Reverse we are going to get. Can you please observe reverse? What the problem? Just it's a very simple example, right? Just a simple tracing, man. Here 0 to 5, 0 to 5. This is the length. Means you require to take I value of 0 to 4 only. Begin to n minus 1. Now at the beginning, n message is okay, empty, sir, empty. Now first what the I value? 0 start message of 0 means h is coming plus n message is the empty. Okay, well, now n message will become h. Now I value will become 1 means e, sir. Now do you know, first we have to take e plus n message. Currently n message is what? h. Next character l. So first l and then n message. Next character l and then n message. Next o and then current n message. So like this. Getting? Okay, so if you can change this one, if you can change the order, end the message plus start message of I, now it will become original. Now I have a look once. Hello. This is just only reversal. Yeah. Any other? Yeah, the remaining people, can you please observe this one? What the answer? Yeah, now can strings are immutable, but every time it is going to create a new object. We are not changing existing. Every time it is internally going to create a new object. Yeah. Now can you please tell what your doubt? Still the code is there? No. Can I print x value is changed? Print of x. Now, what the doubt here? What thing is happening? Can you please observe? X is like this. X is like W is x of from one index onwards. Now this part will become W. Next, U is equal to x of, the same part will become U. Next, Y is equal to accessor. Now this total thing will be assigned to the Y. This total thing will be assigned to the Y. U of 0 is equal to 50. U of 0 is equal to 50. U of 0 means here this is the 50. Y of 1 is equal to 40. Y of 1 means this one. Now print of x. Now print of x. X value as of now should not be changed. No, will be changed. Will be changed because y of 1 is equal to 40. This change should be reflected. Getting right? Because y is equal to x means x and y both are pointing to the same list. By using one reference variable, if you change the content, that change by default will be there. 13, 40, 17,000. Now count. Here y is equal to x. List is mutable. Happily you are allowed to change the content. Getting? Here, because of slice operator, it's always going to create new objects only. U and W not pointing to existing X. It's always pointing to new object. New objects got created because of slice operator. Slice is always meant for cloning. Getting? Now come. Any explanation is required? Yeah, that's all. Yeah, Swarup, just let me check.